And there are a lot of parents across the nation getting on board. Over 60,000 parents so far have taken the Wait Until 8th pledge, aiming to delay giving children a smartphone until at least the end of their 8th grade year. So let's bring in Devorah Heitner, author of Growing Up in Public, Coming of Age in a Digital World. Devorah, thank you so much for your time. First of all, what are your thoughts on this Wait Until 8th pledge?
Wait until 8th can be a good way for communities to come together to have conversations about phones and when kids are ready for that kind of access to a powerful device. But I think it's really important to also give families some trust and say, families know when their kids are ready. And if you have a kid who's coming home from school alone or has sibling care responsibilities or is taking 3 buses and a train to get home, that kid may need a phone earlier than a kid who has less independence. So I think it's important to have community conversations about when kids are ready and for parents to make sure that they're teaching kids to be thoughtful and responsible in the ways they use phones and that they're modeling positive uses at home. But ultimately, I don't think any one of us can decide that there's a universal age when kids are ready. There are plenty of kids who might not even be ready at the end of 8th grade.
Right. Well, are you surprised to see, this legislation? And, in New York, there's this legislation passed regarding regulating algorithms. We're seeing on the other side of the country in Los Angeles, the school board there voting to ban cell phones in all public schools starting next year. Are you surprised that there seems to kind of be this backlash against cell phones?
No, because I think there is widespread frustration, not as much with phones from what I'm seeing, but with especially social media apps and the company's lack of responsiveness to user challenges, whether it's bullying, impersonation, sexual harassment. And those things, I think the companies need to do a better job responding because school districts are suing, states are trying to lock down. New York is not alone. And so it's very important for them to be more responsive and for us to look at how we can teach digital citizenship and digital wellness in schools, because kids need strategies to deal with whether it's invasive algorithms, whether it's unwanted direct messages, whether it's just a conflict that might come up in the comments section or in posting. Kids need support in how to deal with this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of support, what about peer pressure? Because I'm thinking of this Wait Until 8th. How does that peer pressure potentially factor into social development if, let's say, everyone else has a phone, but there are only 1 or 2 kids whose parents are saying, we are opting to wait?
Well, this is why parents, I think, want to get together, because they don't want their kids to be in that situation. But many, many kids are. And if you are the last in your class, and it might even be a 6th grader or 7th grader who's the last in his or her class, it's important for your kid to have a way to reach out to make plans with friends, since most people don't have a home phone. So are you going to suggest that your kid makes plans on email, or are they going to use your phone to do it? In which case, you still need to be having that digital wellness, digital safety conversation, because your kid, you do want to encourage a child, probably before they finish middle school, to be able to reach out and make plans with friends. You're not going to be calling up other kids' parents in high school to make a play date for your 9th or 10th graders. So kids do need to learn how to make plans. And if they aren't going to have a phone, the question is, how are they going to do that? And if you're lucky enough to be close with some of their friends' parents, you can certainly talk to them and say, hey, text me if you're all going to the beach. But it's worth thinking about the fact that kids may go around you and use another way to communicate. And so we still need to be talking to kids about how to do that safely.
And my last question for you, Devorah. Cell phones are so pervasive in our everyday lives at this point. And yes, things change. We have to accept that. But how has it changed what it means to be a kid in America compared to, even just 15 or 20 years ago?
There's so many factors that have changed childhood. Cell phones are absolutely one of the big ones, but there are other ways that childhood has changed, including parenting practices, including having more connected devices at school, including some things that previous generations maybe didn't have to worry about, like school shootings and other things. So childhood is changing, and we need to support our kids and make sure we're offering places for kids to hang out and play, skate parks, libraries, making sure that places are friendly and accessible so that kids can balance their screen-based socializing, which can be a positive thing in their lives, with some in-person socializing, which we also really want for them.
Yes, and that's good for adults as well. All right, Devorah Heitner, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.